If you're going to the gym and not seeing changes in your physique, chances are something is holding you back. Today, we're going over 7 reasons why you're not gaining muscle. First off, you are not tracking things. How can you expect to reach a goal if you're not tracking your progress towards that goal? You need to actually track numbers or you're not going to be able to accurately gauge your progress towards your goal. My first year in the gym, I didn't track my lifts, so I literally cannot tell you with certainty what I was actually doing. Sure, I can recall the general gist of what I was doing, but I don't have any actual numbers or progress I made on lifts. All I have are some progress photos to compare before and after physiques. This is a big mistake, guys. If you're not tracking anything, your progress will be hindered. And this starts with a logbook of all of your lifts, because you have to get stronger over time if you want to gain muscle. You can't expect to get jacked if you're lifting the same weights for months or even years on end. If you're a natural lifter, you do have to get stronger over time. You can have the most perfect, optimal, slow eccentric technique in the world, but if you're still curling the pink dumbbells, your biceps probably aren't going to be that big. So make sure to track your lifts so that you know you are actually getting stronger over time. It's as simple as typing it into your notes app right after you finish the set. That takes literally 10 seconds. There are really no excuses. So aside from tracking our lifts, how do we actually make sure we're getting stronger over time? You have to train hard. Stop with all this science-based lifting, 3 reps in reserve nonsense. If you're a beginner or early intermediate lifter, go to failure. And I mean true failure. Not, oh, it burned, so I'm going to stop the set. Lift until you can't lift anymore. It should look ugly. Someone might even come up and try to correct your form, but you need to do this for some period of time so you actually know what failure feels like. This way, in the future, you can accurately gauge your reps in reserve. So when you want to do a set with 2 or 3 reps in reserve, you actually know what you're doing. See, training with reps in reserve isn't inherently bad, but the problem is it's marketed to a lot of beginners and they have no idea what 2 or 3 reps in reserve actually is, so they end up stopping well short. But what about outside of the gym? What you do outside of the gym matters just as much as what you do inside of the gym for muscle growth. This starts with your diet. Say you don't track your calories and you don't track your weight on the scale. A year goes by, you look in the mirror and think, man, I look just as small as I did a year ago. Chances are you didn't actually gain any weight over the last year because you weren't eating enough. Lots of skinny guys think, oh, I'll just stuff myself until I'm full and that'll be enough. The reality is, their appetite isn't big enough for that to work. Trust me, I've been there before. Once you actually start tracking your calories, you'll realize that you weren't actually eating enough. Another perhaps underrated variable that a lot of people don't pay attention to is their sleep. Your muscles can't grow if they're not recovering properly. And it's not just the amount of sleep that matters, but also the quality. Are you going to bed and waking up at regular times? Is your sleep undisturbed throughout the night, or are you constantly waking up? Are you drinking too much caffeine throughout the day, making it harder to get good sleep at night? These are all things to consider. At the very least, I would recommend that you track how much sleep you're getting each night. But let's say you've got all of that dialed in. You're sitting there thinking, but Tyler, I train hard, I track all my lifts, I know I'm eating enough, and I recover just fine. And yet I'm still not building muscle. This brings us to consistency. Are you doing all of these things every day, every week? Anyone can put together 1 or 2 days where they're completely locked in, but how many can do it for a whole month or a whole year? Building muscle is really a year-round process. You can't sporadically commit yourself to the gym and expect amazing results. That's just not how it works. And if you are in fact doing all of this stuff on a consistent basis, yet you still find you don't have as much muscle as you'd like, the answer is probably more obvious than it may seem. You simply haven't been training long enough. I know, no one wants to hear this, and this is why a bunch of fads get popular, because everyone wants the best results as quick as possible. This is why things like science-based lifting and optimal training appeal to a lot of beginners, because they promise the best results as soon as possible if you do these exercises this way. But the truth is, building muscle naturally takes years. 99.99% of natural lifters don't end up looking like freaks after a year of training. So rather than chasing optimal gains or perfect routines, put your head down and enjoy the process. Only compare yourself to the previous version of yourself, and you might find that you're happier with your physique than social media would have you believe. Let me know down in the comments what you struggle with most when it comes to building muscle. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.